Alrighty, guys, I think we're back. We just dropped that stream. T, do you want to tell me when we're back?
No worries, I'll let you know. I'm just...
Legend.
Here we go. It says we are live just now.
Excellent. Welcome back, everybody. We had a little issue with the stream. Not sure whether it was my dad coming back from fishing or a few little messages coming through on my phone. Either way, we'll go straight back to Russell Cootes and his news that the cancellation of the Sail GP Season 2 is official. Here we go.
A little over 8 weeks ago, we were in Sydney running our event, and at that stage, the coronavirus situation was starting to get roots, but nobody expected it to develop the way it's gone. And I think it's important to realise the dramatic impact it's had, to a vast amount of people right across the globe. We had to look at it and decide what we're best to do, and by the end of it, the answer was pretty clear. Really, we're better off focusing on some other projects in the interim, and then restarting our league when we hopefully can have more certainty and provide a safer environment for both our participants and all of our staff and all of the people in the communities that we are visiting. That's really was our primary consideration. Sydney was affected.
So there you go. Sail GP Season 2 is cancelled. Even the event in Sydney that was already run this year will no longer exist. Basically, it ceases not to exist. The America's Cup, we were talking in the last stream, and I'm not sure how far we got into it, Nev. It sounds like the America's Cup will go ahead if they can get it there.
100%. They're committed to it. And particularly now with the footballers and other things that have been going on where they've been allowed to travel, then go into lockdown to make things possible. So I did hear it from the source that they're going to do everything in the universe to make it happen. So I'm looking forward to the America's Cup. And the other thing that's interesting out of what Russell Cootes was saying would be to find out what are the other projects. The guy's a genius. He always comes up with really interesting things, and it'd be good to get the lowdown on that. So I'd be badgering him if I were you.
You can't badger him. There's a very big wall in between him and me, that's for sure. I've tried.
No, he's a good guy.
He's a very good guy, I know. But their comms team is exceptional. And I think also it probably came down to budget. They've only got a limited amount of budget, and a lot of their budget comes from broadcast. So if they don't have the ability to broadcast, they don't have the ability for that income to come in, and it's just not sustainable. But with the America's Cup, the Prime Minister of New Zealand announced the other day that if anybody does come in, they have to go through the 2 weeks quarantine. If any equipment comes in, it has to go through the 2-week quarantine. Interestingly enough, the restrictions were lifted enough last Wednesday that construction can continue in New Zealand. So we've seen what's their boat called? Tia Anu, the dolphin, out on the water. So great to see them out training again. But it looks like the first 75 to reach New Zealand will actually be American Magic. It should be there by early June, whereas the others have all been caught up in Cagliari trying to get out of Italy. So the British boat is home in Portsmouth, and Luna Rossa and also the other two are on their way down to New Zealand. So that's your America's Cup news. There's not really too much else, except I've been really, really excited to see my Instagram stories over the past week. My friends in Italy, my friends in Spain, actually getting to go outside and put their feet in water. Nev, you said you're missing sailing. They couldn't even go outside. It's awful.
Yeah, well, I think I'd be a nut job if I'm not already. That would drive me nuts. That would be very sad.
It would be very sad. But what we're going to do, we're going to roll straight in to our first guest, other than the Beneteau Whisperer. We might call on Droney. Ronnie, are you there, mate?
Yeah, we're here.
Nice to see you.
Hey,
Thanks
Ronnie.
for dialing in from Fiji.
Yeah, always a pleasure to see you guys. And also, hey to Nev, good to see you again.
Yeah, Ron, I'm just thinking you've brained it. What a great place to be socially isolating. Fiji, that is a smart move. You're a legend.
Yeah, you know what? On a serious note, though, like every day I just pinch myself that I am so fortunate to be here, because being in the South Pacific Islands, we have been a little bit isolated from it. So
Yeah, well, all the best. Please make the most of it for those that can't.
Yeah, I won't tell you how much I've been sailing and surfing. How about that?
Sad.
We might have to let Nev go.
Off you go.
Bye.
Goodbye. You're making everyone sad.
All right, I'll go.
Oh no! I didn't
can
want
come back.
Nev to leave.
We'll bring him back in a second. The Beneteau Whisperer, we love him. For those who didn't see our Keeping You Covered coverage, Nev was our commentator offshore with Ronnie, with the drone up in the sky for the majority of the fleet. 135 boat fleet from memory. That's stretching it. Does anybody remember?
I think that
I
sounds
think it
right.
was like 100. I think it was more than that. I think it was like 156.
Something like that.
Oh.
Oops.
Yeah, but
Lost
I tell
count.
you, however many it was, not a single Beneteau made it past my drone without Nev calling from about a mile away.
Yeah.
I think that's a Beneteau 47.7. Or I think that I'm closer and we're like, how did you even see that? I'm looking at the drone screen. I couldn't even see it. Hence the Beneteau Whisperer.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
is the Beneteau Whisperer forevermore. I've known him since I was born, but he's now got a new nickname. I love it. Excellent. We have another guest on the line. We're going to just say a quick hello to her and then we'll bring Ronnie back. Just stand by for me, Ronnie. You good?
Yep.
Alrighty. We might bring in Renee. Hi.
Hi, everyone.
How are you?
I'm doing really well, but like T's dad, I'm also missing being out on the water. It's pretty hard, but I've had lots of time to, hit the books and study some racing tactics and things like that. So now I have no excuses. I should know what to do on the start line.
Oh, that's a very important thing. And for those who don't know, Renee was with us at the start of the Hobart and at the finish of the Hobart.
It was like literally probably one of my life highlights. So a few weeks ago, one of our crew members was having his birthday. So it was Duncan, the guy who steered our boat from Sailors with Disabilities. We're now called the Making Waves Foundation. He steered over the finish line for the Sydney to Hobart, and that was when I was getting all excited and crying on Nic on live. And so for his birthday, I went back and made a bit of a video about the Hobart and that sort of thing. And just watching Nic's footage like over and over again, I still get chills. It was the most amazing experience. If you can get down to Hobart to see the end of the race, you've got to. It was just pumping down there. The vibe, all the big boats. Fantastic.
Well, I love how passionate you are about a race that so many are passionate about. It's fantastic. We will watch that highlights clip in just a minute so everybody can enjoy. We're going to bring in our third guest and then we'll bring everybody in together. Our third guest, last but not least, our amazing rib driver, Steve. How are you?
Hey,
Yeah,
Steve.
hi Nic and everyone. That's great fun to catch up. We'd had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We couldn't have done it without you in Hobart, Steve.
Yeah, well, I got the call through Chapo to say, this girl called Nic Douglas that does the adventures of a sailor girl. I thought, not that bloody maniac that just can't stop talking. I want some help in Hobart, and she wants a boat to use and a boat driver. So I put my mind around it and I thought, do I really want to get involved with this? And it worked a treat, I think.
Yeah.
And
I remember the first phone call. I'm going to organise this.
Yeah.
I'm going to organise that. And then I don't want anything to do with it. I'm washing my hands of you. I don't want to be anywhere near it.
You loved it. You loved it by the end of it. You missed us, right, when we left?
Yeah, maybe. No, look, it was a hoot. You do. I just want to put a big thank you back to you from the yachting community. People might not know, but I actually sit on the Royal Sydney Hobart, the Rolex Sydney Hobart proper sailing committee, the National Sailing Committee, and I've done a lot for our club at the Royal Yacht Club. And when I got the call, I thought it was a really good cause to cover all of those boats that don't normally get covered by the general media. Big thanks to the owner of Gretel 2,
100%.
Mike, who owned the 8.5 metre rib that we got for days 2 and 3 of the filming, and also to the other helms that helped when I had to do shifts in the committee room and stuff. But Mike Glusky and Mike Smart were fantastic. But the big boat, the 8.5 metre Protector rib, is an ideal platform for doing what you guys did, and hats off to you. Like, awesome effort. Well done.
Oh, it was definitely a team effort. That's why it's really nice to have everybody on the line. I think Ronnie was saying off air before that he's never worked with someone who's learned so quickly how to help him catch a drone as a driver. So all hats off to you, Steve. And thank you for not washing your hands of us.
It's not a problem. I'll just give it a little. Here's our next sponsor. I'm just having a little glass of wine.
Oh, yeah,
so
the Mona.
See this there? That's actually the Mona label. So maybe David Walsh, the owner of Mona. Oh, there's Ronnie having a drink too, and everyone else is having a drink. So maybe an extra sponsor for you could be David Walsh. I know him a little bit, and we could give him a plug. There you go.
Let's take that on. And on that note, I think it might be a good time to go to our highlights reel, if I can find it. It should be here somewhere. I'm sure I dragged it in. And I've made it's not really a bloopers reel, it's a behind the scenes reel, which we'll look at later after we've done the competition. Because we had a bit of a competition running on our story this week, didn't we, T?
Yeah, that was awesome. It was so good, the response we got back from the competition. Whoop, my AirPod just fell out. Yeah, we had 2,500 responses, over 2,500 responses. So thanks, guys, because that's how I spent my Friday, just going through all your votes, literally all day. But I think we've got a winner, which we might see after the bloopers reel.
Sounds like a plan. This is not the bloopers reel, though. This is the serious one.
Oh, the serious one, and then my bad.
Then we'll finish on the bloopers. That's a good idea.
The fun stuff.
Let's relive keeping you covered. A big thanks to everybody who helped to make the project happen, and to Ronnie for the amount of hours that he put in whilst drinking red wine to help me edit this.
Tradition, elegance, prestige. This is the 75th edition of the Rolex Sydney Hobart Yacht Race.
This is Nic Douglas for Adventures of a Sailor Girl, keeping you covered for your Rolex Sydney Hobart coverage.
It'll be very interesting. It's going to be a great race to watch, and I think there'll be a lot of people sitting on their seats for the whole entire 628 nautical miles.
That's the exciting part for us, getting out past the turning mark, and then just letting the boat light up and see everybody smile, and you know you've got the conditions that the boat was built for.
You learn all the tricks and you sail well when you're young, and you take them through your life and you can teach it to other people. But if you play a contact sport like rugby or any other game, you can only play it till you're 35 or something, then you're broken and you can't actually compete. Whereas sailing, you can do it till you die.
No, I'm a paraplegic, use a wheelchair, and just being on the boat is really cool. Like, all the people walking up and down the dock here would have no idea that I'm a little bit different, and that's the cool part about sailing. Very inclusive sport, and the community here is just great.
Straight into this absolutely stunning and live view of the dock at the Cruising Yacht Club of Australia at the moment. So far you've heard from 4 boats that we managed to catch up with. We've caught up with 30 over the past few days, and that's nothing in this 157 boat fleet. We're really trying to keep you covered this edition of the Rolex Sydney Hobart, as we always do. I mean, really. Beautiful day, nor'easter blowing. This is set to increase in the next 24 hours as the boats head down the coast, but then we have a southerly front coming and potential soft patch. So these big boats really have to push hard over the next night to make sure they get through that soft patch and get into Hobart.
It's taken us a while to get in the air because we were forced to wait. But here we are at what I'd call the people's end of the fleet.
That little powerboat right there in the foreground, that is our chase boat driven by Pill, and that is courtesy of Cronulla Sailing Club. Major shout out to Cronulla Sailing Club. But Nev, just look at the fleet right here.
Yeah, I do speak Beneteau.
Samantha Grant and Jim Cooney's Comanche. They are the current line honours champions from the 50th Transpac race. And what a year this boat has had. And you are going to get the best view of this boat coming across the finish line. There's the gun. Comanche takes line honours. Silas Nolan cheering on the bow there. They take line honours, the second for Samantha Grant and Jim Cooney, in the 75th anniversary of the Rolex Sydney Hobart. Absolutely phenomenal.
Let's show the world what Comanche can do. Put the hammer down and off we went.
Because the last time that you raced on this boat, you won as Perpetual Loyal, but your first race as a navigator, you kicked butt.
Last year we didn't do the interview. I was on the boat captain of this mighty fine yacht, and we came fourth. I think we're going to have to do an interview.
Every year at the Nav Desk, there'll be an interview with Bradshaw and Nic. But you let out of the harbour too, fantastic.
Yeah, we were pretty committed to have a good, clean start.
That's what we're all about. Here we go for attack. Attack with Scallywag. Nice, 525 viewers. Keep bringing the love. We love the love. And this is what's going to help us to keep doing more coverage from around the world. I love my team, and I'd love to take them everywhere with me. They're not letting Scallywag have an inch. They're going to attack right on Scallywag's face. It's less than a boat length between the two. Go into the jibe. Will Oxley on Nav. Gordy Maguire's the sailing master. Once they come across the line, setting a very impressive time to beat. They're right in the sun here. And could this be the Tattersall Cup winner for the 75th anniversary of the Rolex Sydney Hobart? It is his 30th Hobart, Matt Allen. He's doing his 30th this year. He's won twice before, once as a crew boss, once in 2017 on this very boat that you see in front of you, which was built that very same year, purpose-built.
Hello.
Hey. Wow, how are you? Wow, just waiting to talk to Matt Allen. I'm really good. How are you? Awesome. Hi. Nice to see you, Penny. Hi, Mary. You feel better now? Yeah, awesome. Hi. I'm good. How are you? Well done, Jazz. Wow, congratulations. Well, interim. Hi, how are you?
All you can ever do in those races is to round up the errors or lack of errors. We got more right than wrong, so we were pretty excited.
Yeah, it has been a pretty amazing year, but let's focus on this one for now. And being an Australian, of course, this is the big one. Done on all your work.
Oh, thank you so much.
My wife said she was stopped by the side of the road in WA watching your live stream and finish. So,
that's so nice to hear. That makes me so happy. So, yeah, thank you.
Good work.
It's just great to be ahead of the most competitive fleet of 2P52s and sort of 45 to 55 footers that you'll find anywhere in the world. It didn't really leave anything out there, so anyway, fingers crossed.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up here on the dock. We're going to head back out on the water and see who else we can catch live. We're keeping you covered here in Hobart. My name's Nic Douglas for Adventures of a Sailor Girl. Our supporters, Pantaenius Yacht Insurance, also Musto Clothing and Harkin. Now it's a game of hurry up and wait. We were talking about that earlier. What do you do to pass the time while waiting? Here we have the proper national prize. They looked after my staff, who are looking after me, who are helping us to keep you covered. This Rolex Sydney Hobart. We love Henry. If you come to this village, you must come and buy a pie and say, I'm buying a pie because Sailor Girl said so. That's the rule.
I'm leaving home for the coastline.
Someplace under the sun, I feel my heart.
It's Stephanie Kieran. We'll see if we can get Steph to chat to us over the rail. Actually, I believe she's the first female skipper into Hobart. Congratulations! Her very proud husband. Steve's just explaining to me they called the boat Active again because that was actually the name of Jane Tate's boat, and the name of the trophy for the first female across the line in the Rolex Sydney Hobart is the Jane Tate Memorial Trophy. That's a nice little tie-in there, sir.
There's a place that I've dreamed of where I can free my mind. I hear
In the 75th anniversary of the Rolex Sydney Hobart, watch the bowman's hand. 2, 1. Yep, there's a horn.
Yay!
Go! Congratulations. Kia Loa 2, 50th across the line. Renee is our guest commentator this afternoon. She's actually sailed on board SWDK quite a number of times. You might have seen my interview with her before the start. She was working hard, and I can't wait to see you in Hobart. We might have to see if we can get you out on the water to watch these guys finish.
That would be amazing. Yeah, I've got your number.
We're going to organise that. I've got a boat. You're going to come out and watch.
That would be awesome.
For people who don't know, your disability, you just mentioned your spinal injury slight.
Yes, I'm an incomplete paraplegic, low down. I had an accident that I don't really talk about anymore because sailing is way more fun.
I agree with that.
And for me, being out on the boat is really cool because you can go past me in another boat and you would have no idea I use a wheelchair, so that's really cool.
That's Sailors with Disability right there. They're the next boat going to be across the line. I did think that was them.
Don't listen to anybody else, don't look at anybody else. Focus on
Excited
yourself.
for you to cheer. You might not be able to see Renee right now, but she's got her Sailors with Disability flag and she's waving it high. She's so excited to be cheering her boat home. This is absolutely lovely.
I'm feeling very emotional right now because this is so special. Thank you, Nic.
You're welcome, Angel. It's so nice to have you out here, and congratulations to Sailors with Disabilities. Might have to come and give some love to some junior sailing events down at the Royal Yacht Club of Tasmania after all their support for this broadcast, and a big shout out to everybody who's helped to make it happen. You know who you are, though. For those who follow my adventures, navy blue boats are my favourite. Team on board Komatsu, every man, woman and boat, thank you guys. We're keeping you covered here on the Derwent. This is Nic Douglas for Pantaenius Yacht Insurance, Musto and Harkin Australia, and National Pies. Love you guys. See you soon. Every man, woman, and boat. This is the 75th edition of the Rolex Sydney Hobart Yacht Race, Sailor Girl style. Guess what our Wi-Fi network's called, everybody? Keeping you covered! There you go. Nice crunch, Steve.
Oh my goodness, that was amazing. I want to be back there.
It feels like yesterday, but like 100 years ago since we've been isolated.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
God. That was such a fun event.
Yeah. We ended up spending a lot of time together in the Derwent, didn't we, you lot?
Yes. We were on top of each other.
Oh, we're getting kisses from Ronnie.
I love all you guys. I love all you guys.
So fun. Yeah. So
more,
there you go.
More than anything, I just miss sailing right now. I miss yacht racing. I miss having I'm so amped to get back to that.
Yeah. I was listening. I was also just reaching for a drink. Thanks, Dad. Who was also a massive part of the team. Should get him over here. We had Nev's head in here before. Mum had her head in here before the show to say hello.
Let's get Rob Douglas on there.
Yeah, Rob Douglas. They want to say hello to him. No, he won't come. He's just been fishing. Life's tough down in the South Coast. What were you going to say,
Was he fishing or catching?
Yeah, go, Steve.
Yeah. I was just going to say one of Australia's oldest sailing yacht that's been restored in Hobart, Tassie 2,
Yeah.
which I think is close to 100 years old.
Oh, wow.
We used the same rib on Tuesday, Gretel 2's boat, with one of the trustees of the Tassie 2 Foundation to go down and bring her back from a mooring in Cygnet, because she went down and did the Cygnet Regatta, the 3-day weekend regatta. And she's a very famous Tasmanian hue and pine yacht. And so if you search for Friends of Tassie 2 on Facebook, you can join her. And it's a great
go for a little
cause.
journey.
Maybe not. Oh, possibly go for a journey. But the point is,
I mean, a virtual one.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, but we went down and got her back, and we went down in an hour and 10 minutes on the rib, and it's 40 nautical miles or 37 nautical miles. So took us an hour and 15 minutes, but then 5 hours to bring her back. But she's back home, and that same weekend of the March-long weekend it was, early March, we took Gretel 2 down to celebrate her 50th anniversary birthday. And we were going to have a big party for her on Good Friday, Easter Good Friday, for her, but that all got cancelled because of COVID. So we're now hoping for the opening day of the yachting season in Hobart that we might be able to recreate her birthday. There you go.
Well, did you know, Steve, that Gretel 2 has the same birthday as Tiana Whitty?
Ooh, how good's that?
Yeah. We could have a joint party.
Gretel 2 theme, 21st.
Yeah. I think we should get on to some of the hard-working trivia that we had going on during the week as well, which was keeping you covered themed. And after watching that highlights reel, anybody who watched the highlights reel probably would have got every answer correct. Correct, Tiana?
Yeah.
Yep. So how many people played? How many people played? 2,500?
2,500, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Very cool. And we had how many winners?
One person got every single question right.
Joke.
We had some close second places, but only one person got 12 out of 12. Very impressed.
So I think we're going to try and answer these with the guests as well. What do you reckon?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, here we go. I'll see if I can stop it before I choose the right answer. This is one of the videos I made today. Here we go. Trivia time. Dun, dun, dun. She's so good on the Instagram. All right, question 1. What almost stopped the Sydney to Hobart running in 2009-20?
I laughed so much at answer C.
Yeah, did you like that? How many people answered multiple sunfish sightings, Tiana? How many?
5 too many. 5 too many answered that. I was so shocked and disappointed.
I have a funny story about sunfish. When we went to Hobart with Tiana the first time, which was not last Hobart before, she did not believe me that a sunfish existed.
So I didn't think they were real animals.
She thought they were mythical creatures. So literally then started the tradition of once the first boats finish, we go back to the hotel room and watch David Attenborough and the sunfish documentary.
We get educated.
And that's where that answer came from. But bad you, whoever answered sunfish, it was bushfires. All right, next question. I'm just going to wait until it comes up. There we go. What yacht that participated in the Sydney to Hobart yacht race holds the record for the slowest elapsed time? Answer.
I know the answer.
I know the answer because I got it right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, did you? Good job.
Do you know the answer, Ronnie?
I don't even have my glasses on. I can't even see it right now. Which
That's
It's
why he
probably
can put
D,
up with
I'm
us
not
for
sure.
half an hour. No glasses.
It's probably D.
It is D, Wayfarer. Correct, all of you people who answered Wayfarer. So you would have got this confetti, which is awesome. I love it. How long is the Sydney to Hobart yacht race? I had a lot of people message me saying 630 miles. I was like, ah. Correct, but not correct.
You can't put
You have to do
the
it
answer
math.
in kilometres.
That
You
was
can't have the
Tiana's
answer in
Yeah.
kilometres.
trick question. Trick question.
You got to use it in nautical miles.
I know, but it's 1170. So there you go. C. Ta-da!
I'm just keeping everyone on their toes, guys.
Yeah, we had to split them somehow. Rightio. In
That's
what
the
year
first time
was
I've
the
ever faulted Tiana in any way.
Thanks, Ronnie.
Harsh marker. In what year was the inaugural Sydney to Hobart yacht race held? 1943, 1945, 1941, or 1940? We've stumped them.
This was the one that I got
sure.
wrong.
Pretty sure it's 40.
It's around 70 years ago.
45, right?
1945. Yep, correct. Excellent. Well done, 1944. I can't even speak. In what year did women first begin participating in the Sydney Hobart?
Now, someone actually did answer 1879.
Yeah,
And
someone
we
answered
just-
1879 after the previous
Yeah.
question, where there was no possible
Yeah.
way the race existed.
Yeah.
I bet they answered sunfish.
I think it was the same person.
They've just gone through to
I'm gonna
answer
take
the
a-
stupid answers. Yeah?
I'm going to take a wild guess and probably say 20 years too late.
Yeah. It was 46, though.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Well done.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Just the next year after.
And what was the name of the first woman to compete? A lot of people said Kendi Kellett. She's not that old. Guys, it's so mean. Come on.
So what's the first female into Hobart? The club is named after
Renee
Jane
Crawford.
Tate.
Renee Crawford's about my age, so it's not her. Adrian Cahalan has competed in the most Rolex Sydney Hobarts. I like what you did here, T. It's Jane Tate, which the trophy is named after. The Jane Tate Memorial Trophy, which is quite a nice little trophy. There's my Irishman.
You
Love
know,
the Irishman.
If I can just butt in really quick.
Go.
On that note, you guys were talking about the first woman to ever compete in Hobart. A bit of a somber note, but the first female to ever compete in the Transpac just passed away. Not related in any way to COVID-19, but just a massive shout out to somebody who personally impacted my sailing career. A massive inspiration, I think, to women sailors anywhere. And if you don't know her, you should look her up. But Jocelyn Nash, she was 91 years old up in San Francisco. And she competed in the first Transpac in 1955. And then also in the first single-handed Transpac as a female in 1982.
Amazing.
So,
That's so cool.
just on that kind of note, just an incredible female sailor that really, really left her mark on the sailing world. So
really nice.
we all miss you. Really an incredible lady that sailed up until the very end. So just a big shout out to her.
I've heard about that, and I recognise her name because anyone in Australia knows the name Nash. I found it really interesting. It was quite funny. The Nash is a big sailing name in Australia. Alrighty.
And in California as well. Her
really?
Her whole family is
There you go.
legendary. Yeah.
I wonder if they're related. Quite interesting. All right. What is the fastest time the race has been completed? 1 day, 8 hours, 15 minutes. 1 day, 10 hours, 24 minutes. 1 day, 11 hours, 24 minutes. Or 1 day, 9 hours and 15 minutes. Bonus points if you name the boat.
Ooh, I think it's D.
I think it's the 11:24, isn't it?
It's D! Correct!
Yep.
And it's Comanche after the protest with Wild Oats. I love the background to this one, T. Popeye. What was the slowest time the race was completed in by Wayfarer? So I love it how you got it all wrong, everybody. That previous question. In 1945. And this is 20 days, 6 hours, 9 minutes. 16 days, 20 hours, 6 minutes. 9 days, 20 hours, 6 minutes, or 11 days, 6 hours, and 20 minutes?
So this is from the first year.
It's not 20 days. I'll give you that hint. But imagine 20 days. We'd be in Hobart. We'd be going grey.
What was the winner? The winner was 6 days, right?
1 day, 9 hours. Fastest time.
No, in 45.
In 45, yep, 6 days.
So...
I'll give you a hint. It's D! 11 days.
That's a good hint.
Yeah. Alrighty. This one's quite close to our heart. Ocean Crusaders. Ocean Crusaders. Follow Ocean Crusaders and Sea Bin Project and also the Big Plastic Pledge on Instagram. All three. I'm going to get them all to work together. That's my mission in life. Right. How many tons of rubbish did Ocean Crusaders pull out of Australian waterways in 2019? It was in our interview and on our story and in our highlights.
We laid the clues out. You just had to pick them up.
I'll give you a hint. It's
think it was
80
tons.
80
Yeah.
tons. Yep.
Amazing.
Now, if anybody watched our highlights reel, they'll get this one. What was the name of our Wi-Fi network? Keeping you covered. What year did the largest fleet participate? T got this
50th.
one run wrong. She had a typo. We got corrected, and we corrected
The
ourselves.
50th Hobart race.
Yeah, the
Indeed.
50th.
Which was 94.
And how many boats were in it?
Don't know. T?
Over 300.
There was
It was
lots.
over 300 or something, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Imagine
over 300.
And then you'll love the next question because there was a little typo on this one too, which is who won line honours. That was the typo in 2010. And everyone answered Wild Oats 11, which was correct. But the question was meant to be who won on IRC. So the answer is Jeff Fetcher's Secret Men's Business. Yay! So team, who was the winner for this week? And they get a Pantaenius prize pack and go in the draw for our major prize at the end of the year.
His name was, I need to find his actual handle, but it was Adventure Jacked, I think. Let me see, I'm saying that correctly.
Adventure Jacked? Something like that.
Activated Jacked.
Activated Jack. Message us.
He was
Activated Jack.
Yep.
Yay! They got 12 out of 12. I didn't get 12 out of 12 on my first go.
No, me neither.
I had to do it on my other Instagram account to record it. Hopeless. Anyways, that's our quiz. We'll have another one next week. Next week we have Tracy Edwards on the show. So we'll be talking about all things maiden. That'll be fantastic. Very excited for that. And the quiz leading into the show will be on all things maiden. Yay! So that'll be really fun. Now, I have a bloopers reel, which may or may not be more of a behind-the-scenes reel.
Well, you guys are hilarious behind the scenes. Like,
We don't actually have that much behind-the-scenes footage because I'm so onto T about cutting it so we don't have to edit.
Yeah.
So, but I did find some things.
I'm just really happy that the worst blooper on the drone never was recorded.
I didn't put any drone bloopers in.
Well, there weren't any aside from the first day.
The first day.
One very bad one. Before we even started the race.
Oh, in Cronulla?
Yeah.
I do have a video of you sitting on the ground, which I said to Dad. Yeah. Which is,
Yeah,
I think we've lost
I was
him.
about to board an airplane back to Fiji and just leave. Yeah.
Oh golly. All right, well, let's watch some of the fun moments from behind the scenes. Even Steve's in it. And then we'll come back and say goodbye to everybody. Sorry we're running late. If you've just joined us, we're running a little late. 1, because Steve couldn't work out which way his iPad should go. And 2, because our stream dropped out and Nev chatted a lot in our news section, which was fine.
Hey, Ronnie,
we
you
love
got
the
any wine
Beneteau
left, mate?
Whisperer.
We asked him
a
to
little
leave.
bit.
Oh, he can come back.
I'm empty. I'm getting dry. So.
I got
one
some,
now.
I got some here for you, man.
All right, bloopers. You can get a drink and come back. Here we go.
Most of the primary thing is going down to meet all our old girlfriends.
Exactly.
You put a beer in, huh?
Cheers. I think I want to go talk to this boat, another painkiller, mostly because they give me painkillers. Are you polishing battens? I'm very confused. Started getting the charging station going. Check it out.
Ho, ho, ho.
Hey, Ronnie. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Nick.
I feel like we've been here for 12 hours.
I think that's because we have been here for 12 hours on Christmas Day.
Oh man, in the Rolex Sydney Hobart Media Centre, keeping you covered. We stream live to you all, and thank you to Rory. I'll do one more. This is Nick Douglas for. That was terrible. Stop and stop. I'm crunching it and got a lolly in my mouth. Can't talk.
Welcome, what?
Back to adventures
To adventure.
of a sailor girl.
Welcome back to adventure of a sailor girl.
Yay!
This is going to the States. Off you go. Zero Heineken, man. He's on fire. Douche. I love it.
Good. Where's Nick gone?
Dad?
What are you doing, guys?
About to go get fit. Adventures of a Sailor Girl.
Keeping you covered.
Keeping you fit.
I've got this down.
I like that you're 34. Hey, everyone give me a wave. Hey! Awesome.
I'm a salty dog, but I do wash my glasses as I'm approaching Hobart to make sure I don't mistake. I have a photographic memory and I remember all their names.
Awesome. Chapo, are you excited to go south?
He's desperate to go south. He's trying to cut my lunch. Chapo lines up behind me and he takes all of the bad passes and grabs them.
Yeah, not quite.
You're in the...
Oh my god.
What goes on tour stays on tour.
Kim just walked into the frame.
It was a fun
that's so
event.
funny. Yeah, I miss it.
Hi, Salty.
Sorry, that's my dog. Sorry, I'll just mute myself.
You might have just missed that. We had just had KBL come into the frame. That's KBL is my wife, Kim.
Hi, KBL.
Kim Bin
I did
Laden.
say hi, Mrs. Steve.
You didn't get that.
KBL?
Just be quiet. It's Kim Bin Laden. It's all good. The boys know that.
Okay. Put yourself back on, T.
Hi, sorry. My dog was just
cool.
barking at nothing.
I just thought I'd say thank you to all of you for helping to make Hobart so fantastic last year. And I just thought it would be really nice to have a reunion and share it with everyone too. So
Yeah, so nice.
Well done, Nick. And can I say well done for your Anzac Day coverage? I know it got very emotional for you, but it was fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, it's weird not going to a Anzac celebration. I'm not sure if any other Aussies felt the same way. I'm very thankful.
Absolutely.
And I think when we're all at home and we're missing sailing and everything that's going on Anzac Day, it was very real for me in what I feel, in that we're so lucky to be able to stay at home and not go sailing and have that option. Some people never had that option. They had to go to war. So that's why I got very emotional on Anzac Day. So thanks.
You're allowed
Steve,
to do
for
that.
watching. Yeah. And Ronnie is a war vet, so he knows all sides.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a somber note. Thank you so much for joining me. Sorry, guys, that the stream cut out at the start, but that's okay. We picked up the news right where it left off. And feel free to share this stream. Everybody share it, and then we can keep doing shows. And next week, make sure you tune in, because I'm really excited to have my mate Trace on the show. We've been trying to catch up for a little while, so that'll be really good.
Great. So we're over and out.
We're over and out. I'm going to end the stream. Thanks so much, everybody. Hey, Ronnie.
Thanks,
you going surfing tomorrow? You going surfing tomorrow?
I surfed yesterday and the day before that, but I'm going to haul the boat out on Monday, actually. So I'm going to be out of the water for a bit, and then hopefully get back on it after that. But thanks for having me on board, and it's great to see all you guys again. That was just a really, really great event, and it was really great to just see that again. So thank you for that.
Yeah, nice to remember the good times. Oh, what are you going to do, Renee? We'll get back out in the water soon.
Oh, can't wait. We're actually getting the deck of our TP52 redone. So hopefully that means we're not going to bum slide all over the place now. So looking forward to that. And I'm sort of umming and ahhing about whether hopefully the Hobart is going to go forward this year, because it might be my first race. Who knows? My first Hobart. So, yeah, fingers crossed.
Keeping my fingers crossed. Well,
yeah,
at least if it does go ahead, we know that you'll be sailing, and hopefully Steve will want to work with us again. And Ronnie's COVID-free, because Fiji's doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fiji's great. I just I hope I get the opportunity to do you guys again. It'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Alrighty, guys, let's hit the hay. Hope everybody has a fantastic Friday night, Friday morning, wherever you are. Thank you so much for your work for Hobart to help bring this to everybody, and thanks to everybody else who helped. Oh, Paul Pill sends his best regards. He wanted to join us, but he also wanted to get drunk.
Yep. We're doing both, you know.
I'm heading up to the bar right now. See you.
Awesome.
Bye.
See you later, guys. Enjoy. Thank you so much. Keeping you covered.
Thanks, Nick.
Welcome.